Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cloud Chats. This is episode 7 being broadcast on April 1st, 2021. Happy April Fools, everyone. Episode title is Little Birds, Large Cats, and a Dinosaur. So that'll be very interesting. And let's go ahead and kick it off with the cold open. So how's everyone doing today? And Matt, if you had to delete all but 3 apps from your smartphone, which ones would you keep?
So instinctively, it was going to be like Discord and Twitter and Reddit, right? The three sites that I consume all my content from. But actually, all 3 of those I use on desktop. I don't actually use any of those on my phone really, unless I'm out and about. So I could get away with not having them. So I don't know. I feel like Authy is one that I need to keep. Obviously, Dima 2FA. Unfortunately, can't get away from that. And then probably I feel like Reddit. I feel like that's probably of the 3 my favorite one to browse on my phone. And then Spark, my email client, because wherever I am, I want to have access to my emails, so I'm not losing out on anything.
Wow, you're so professional with I need to have my emails. It's like I'd be like, you know what? The first thing that's gone, Slack. Not talking to you, work, by email. Like I'd be throwing those things out the window, like not even looking back.
Well, I didn't save Slack because I'm quite happy to not deal with that when I'm out and about. But email, I feel like some form of communication with the outside world.
I'm like going through my phone. I don't. I mean, Matt's probably better at this than I am because I would have immediately deleted 2-factor auth. Would have been locked out of literally everything. I don't know. Spotify, Spotify, music. I don't really do much social media on here. Like I deleted Twitter, which saved, I don't know, my heart and my soul. I think to not have Twitter on. I don't know. That's it. Calendar.
Sure.
I don't really use my phone. Actually, I should check out the screen time.
I was you could do screen time if you're on an iPhone, yeah.
All right.
Why do we want to be that depressed? Okay.
I'm curious now, actually.
All right. So I've got Google is number 1.
Okay.
Messages, number 2. Fantastical, my calendar. And it says YouTube, but I'm pretty sure that's not true because I don't really use it. But if I had to keep a social media, I think it would be TikTok.
I've already spent 48 minutes today on TikTok, and I don't know how I've done that. Like I've only been awake for 3 hours, which means that one of those 3 hours I was on TikTok.
You know what's really weird? I don't actually have TikTok installed. I not a social media I consume at all.
It's fun. That's the problem, is that it's a lot of fun. Like it's really entertaining. Like I don't post on it. I don't interact on it. I like videos that I like. So I have like a library of my funniest things, but it's just, man, those people are so entertaining. So yeah, it's a trap. You should get it, but also don't get it at the same time.
I feel like I had it downloaded once to register some brand accounts on it, and then I've just never opened it since.
Probably a good move.
Yeah,
but they are creative.
So look at my screen time. It's Reddit, Twitter, and Discord.
What are the subreddits you usually hang out at? Or is that a private question?
No, it's just a lot. I subscribe to a lot of subreddits. LSF, livestream fails. It's actually kind of my go-to nowadays, so I can keep up with Twitch meta. And then most of the default ones. So just
Wall Street Bets.
No, I do not. I'm not part of Wall Street Bets. I don't know. I don't find that content interesting at all.
Oh my goodness, man, we are just going down it today. My top are TikTok, Twitter, and Discord. So I guess I'll keep those. I would probably also keep 2-factor auth because every time my phone starts misbehaving, I get slightly terrified that I'm never going to see half of the things that I've built ever again because I 2-factor auth everywhere that I can.
Yeah.
I actually have a backup phone in like a safe deposit box that has my two-factor auths backed up to them because Google Authenticator lets you have it on multiple phones. And like it's in a safe deposit box. It's an emergency. My phone is gone. Now I can get back to it.
Well,
I don't know.
You should be saving recovery codes, really.
I have those too, but not everything gives me a recovery code.
Oh.
Like DigitalOcean account doesn't have a recovery code.
Do we not?
I've never had one. Maybe there is one. I don't know about it.
We should.
Yeah, I don't remember ever having a recovery code for any like GitHub gives me recovery codes. Oddly enough, Coinbase gives me a recovery code. But yeah, there's not a lot of things that do that.
Yeah, but I mean, at least all the apps nowadays support syncing across multiple devices.
Yes, that's nice. I mean, some of them will have backups such as like SMS, which is actually hilarious.
Oh my god!
Because I accidentally deleted my so this is how great this I deleted one that allows my not frequent flyer. What is it? The TSA PreCheck. I actually deleted my TSA PreCheck two-factor auth. They don't let you resync it. But I had a backup as my phone number. The only way to resync my two-factor auth is to delete and recreate my account. So now I just use my secondary option all the time because I'm not deleting and recreating my account.
Wow,
and
that's a weird implementation.
Yeah,
I'm glad that SMS is only your second option there and not primary.
Yeah, no, I know about sim jacking. However, my primary if I do have to use primary SMS, because there are a few apps that don't support it, I don't do any sort of so this is where I'm going to chicken and egg myself one day, and it's going to be awful, and you're going to laugh at me. So I have a Google Voice number that I use for my professional professional work. That is all of anything that has to SMS 2FA goes through that one because you can't sim jack Google. Now you can maybe hack my Google account. However, that Google app is authenticated and two-factor auth behind the same Google Voice number.
Ah, yes.
So one day I'm going to completely lock myself out of it, and I'm going to be completely up a creek without a paddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's I live in the constant fear that one day I'm just going to lose that account.
So what I do, I actually have a second phone that sits on my desk that has a burner SIM in it, a pay-as-you-go SIM with no credits on it, but it can receive a text message if it needs to. And so that is the phone number I use for like a few SMS auth things. So no one knows that phone number, so no one can sim jack it.
Oh my goodness, security. Hey everyone in the chat. We do. I love how Brian says he loves my dark mode. So I came in, I turned my lights on this morning and everything seemed darker than normal, and I'm mildly upset by it. I might need to work on actually I think maybe my key lights are a little bit low. I don't know, I'll fix it later. I'm eventually going to do what Chris does and have some like really cool backlighting and stuff, but I'm not even done that yet. Yeah.
Just do what Matt does, turn everything off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like I know I don't have my camera on ever, but I do have like a full theater lighting rig in my office.
One day, Matt.
One day.
I'm just the most well-lit person in the world currently.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so for everyone who's on the show today, we're testing out sound effects for the first time. So I'm actually going to always prompt my co-hosts. Normally I'm just going to play them and it's going to be our cue, but for this one, I'm going to prompt them. So are we ready to move on to Newsflash?
Yep.
Okay, so here we go. And that sound means that it's time for the news. Hooray. Now we move on to Newsflash, the portion of our show where we talk about recent headlines in the tech world and tech news. However, now instead of awkward pauses and someone saying the word awesome when it's time to move on, we have a really neat little sound effect. So whenever you hear this sound, means that we're moving on to the next story. Hopefully this makes the process a little bit more seamless. I'm trying my best. I promise. I see our mod in backstage laughing as hard as she can. So apparently this is humorous. But here we go. Our first content comes out of the wonderful world of crypto. PayPal has launched crypto checkout. And now customers who hold Bitcoin, either Bitcoin Cash or Litecoin, I think also it supports Ethereum, in PayPal digital wallets will now be able to convert their holdings into fiat currencies at checkouts to make their purchases. We're already rolling this out to some US customers. It'll be available to all of its 29 million merchants and customers in the coming months. Wow. I did not know that that PayPal had 29 million customers.
Yeah, that was the number I think from the article that we quoted, but I assume it's correct and sourced. And it's an insane number.
It is. It's a pretty large number. I'm pretty impressed with that. Like, I don't know how much I'll use this feature, but it's cool to see that it's gaining some traction.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I still said it.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, our next story is out of the wonderful world of JavaScript. All of them will be today. Apparently, Next.js 10.1 has been released. Next.js version 10.0 supports apparently 3 times faster refresh rates, up to 200 milliseconds faster. That's a pretty big improvement. 58% smaller install. I'm really impressed. Like, these numbers are awesome. And then Webpack 5 is supported as an opt-in flag. So that's really interesting. Like, 50 to say you got a 58% smaller install, that's an accomplishment.
I don't even know how that happens. You just like delete a bunch of dependencies and look for the best.
It says in that tweet you've got 54% fewer dependencies. So yes, they have just nuked the dependencies.
I wonder if that is just like Lodash things or actual giant dependencies.
Just remove Lodash and it solved everything.
I don't know. It sounds like, did they minify Next.js? Because I mean, there's been conversation in the Python world about minifying Python for a while. Like removing a lot of the standard library stuff that nobody uses anymore, or that we could just move into a package. So maybe they did that. Maybe they minified and got like a minimal. I know nothing about JS. I'm trying.
No, you could be right. Actually, I have not looked into this at all. Yeah, it could be that they've pulled some stuff out into non-core packages, or they've just spent some time pruning dependencies, which is, having done it myself, most painful thing in the world to do, but so rewarding.
Well, either way, congratulations to the Next.js team. It sounds like the improvements that they've made are really valuable. This next story comes out of the land of Svelte. Again, I know nothing about this. So Svelte Kit is now in public beta. After many months and hundreds of commits, you can finally try out this beta. So apparently Svelte is like Next, but for Svelte, or Svelte Kit is like Next for Svelte. I have no idea what that means. Someone explain that to me.
Chris, you're going to need to explain this.
Cool. So Next.js is the framework that sits on top of React, and it gives you a lot of things out of the box, like router, like authentication, like SEO type stuff. So basically Svelte, which is a really, really cool, we should do a lightning tutorial on it. Really cool JavaScript framework, kind of up and coming, has released Svelte Kit. And if you're familiar with Svelte, this used to be called Sapper. This is the successor to Sapper. It's basically just a big framework built on top of Svelte that you can use to build any JavaScript apps.
Okay. I like that. It's cool.
Yeah. So the Svelte Kit project encourages developers to go ahead and try it out and report any bugs that you may find. This next story is out of the land of pretty pictures. Unsplash has been purchased by Getty, or is it pronounced Jetty? How do they say it?
I think
I've always said Getty, but
that's what I thought too, but I have no idea. Unsplash, if I recall correctly, is like a stock photo image thing. And
yes, but like I don't know, the most modern version of it. Like very pretty UI, very clean. Just not
free,
like
right?
And free, and not like Getty, I guess. So I don't know. It was an interesting acquisition to see. I mean, they have the same goals of like, distribute photos, let people, creators submit their own photos. We actually built an Unsplash clone yesterday on a stream and deployed it to Dio, which is fun. But yeah, so they said that the acquisition Unsplash will still live on. Getty would still live on as 2 separate websites. And
Sweet.
Seems like,
I'll say, like, my concern when I saw the headline was like, is Unsplash going to remain free? But it sounds like they're going to keep them kind of pretty separate. So I imagine it'll stay free.
guarantee you the internet's been very negative about this all week as I've been reading it.
Yeah, maybe they'll just remove the ads that they don't need anymore.
Maybe.
Why would
be
you
pretty
not
nice.
want a sponsored by Squarespace ad?
And boxed water.
It's a fun. I've never used it, but it's definitely something like I've never had any need for stock images, but I know that one day I will need to.
I think my only exposure to Unsplash was Trello. They have an integration for doing backgrounds on your Trello boards.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay.
Well, this is the one thing you do to know that Unsplash is like a good photo gallery place. Just
Okay, so these are some good dog pics.
Good doggos.
Good bestest. Those are the bestest doggos. Speaking of cute pets, our next story is out of the land of dinosaurs. The Dino Company has been announced. Dino, the popular secure runtime for JavaScript and TypeScript, has announced the formation of a company. The primary goals of this company are to breathe new life into the server-side JavaScript community, which Dino claims has stagnated in the past couple of years. So I know nothing about Dino. Would y'all since y'all are both relative JavaScript people, what would you say to that statement that they made in their blog post? Do you feel like server-side JavaScript's kind of getting left behind?
I feel it kind of had for a while, and then Cloudflare Workers came along, which is kind of a whole new runtime, really kind of pushing that server-side edge computing part of JavaScript. I feel like kind of Dino in its current state, especially with this announcement, they're going to be a competitor, from what I understand. They've got the Dino Deploy product, which lets you do edge computing with Dino as opposed to Cloudflare Workers with not Node, but JavaScript.
Oh yeah, they announced this too. I actually haven't seen this.
I mostly just love the dinosaurs. They're so cute.
I know, fantastic.
We need to do a partnership with them so we can do Sammy with Dino.
And then where, like, everything is deployed through the CLI?
I haven't actually played around with it, but I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
So it looks like a competitor to Cloudflare Workers, which would be interesting. It's
yeah, maybe a little bit easier to deploy too. I know you have to like dig through and use their kind of UI. Actually, I haven't used Workers in a while, but
Workers you can do with the Wrangler CLI completely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. The one thing I found really interesting about this was they didn't really specifically say how they're going to be funding the company going forward, how they're going to make it profitable, which will be interesting. They're kind of like, I don't know, if you look at like Node.js, right? They're part of the OpenJS Foundation, which is a Linux project foundation, I think, as well. So they're essentially funded by a load of companies that just wanted to exist.
It sounded like, where is that?
You put it in the tab.
It sounded right here. 4.9 mil of seed capital.
Yeah.
I feel like Guillermo's investing in like everything nowadays.
But they haven't really. They said they're going to remain open source. So I wonder if like their deploy product is going to be kind of the thing that funds them.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
I think one of the most important things is that Dino has stated that the project will remain MIT licensed and open source for the future to come, which
is good.
Yes. Our next story is out of something that you need when you're sailing, which is a Tailwind. I'm enjoying these puns today. I hope everyone else is
doing great.
Thank you. I'm coming up with these on the spot, so I'm happy. So Tailwind just-in-time, or the JIT, which I still hate that name, the just-in-time compiler is announced. So Tailwind has announced a new just-in-time compiler for CSS, allowing for on-demand generation of your CSS. Now, that confuses me, and I need Chris to explain it.
Yes,
because I feel like CSS is a static file that already did not need compilation. So why are we compiling static files just in time?
Is it like tree shaking, but for CSS?
Well, they had tree shaking.
Explain what tree shaking is.
So in JavaScript
go
land,
ahead, Matt.
it's you essentially look at, like, if you import a module into your project, tree shaking kind of gets rid of the code from that module that you're not using. So you only actually, when you bundle it, you only import the bit of code that you actually need. So I guess in Tailwind land, the equivalent would be like, instead of importing every single style that Tailwind has, you're only importing the classes that you're using. But I don't know if that's actually the case.
Yes, that's true. So what we have here is a brand new Next.js project. So this, you have a sound for Lightning tutorial?
Oh, are we going? Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to our lightning tutorial. It's time for our lightning tutorials. Every week, one of us will present a quick tutorial, hence the lightning sound, even though technically it's the sound of thunder, not lightning, but we're not going to get into that, on a certain topic that is interesting to us. This week will be Chris taking us through a Tailwind tutorial. So go ahead and take it away for us, Chris.
Cool. So yeah, Tailwind is, and I guess a couple of the questions here arise from, like, what does Tailwind really do? So if I have this app.js, let me zoom out. Let me hide. I just can't use this stuff with everything like showing. So basically, if you have, I'll actually go to the index, the homepage. This is our homepage. Hold on. Div. So Tailwind is, normally you'll have a class name here, and I'm in Next.js, so the React land, and they use class name here. So here you would be like app, and then down here somewhere you would have styles, where you would say app min, or oh my gosh, I'm using Tailwind so much now I forget the original CSS. Min height 100%.
You misspelled height.
Yeah. Okay, so basically you would have everything in CSS. Tailwind changes this up and says, look, you have utility classes now. You can do min height screen, background red. Actually, let's go blue. This is DO. 500. Let's go for flex, item center, justify center. And then here, let's do like an H1 tag, dot font extra bold, dot text 9XL, dot text blue 50. And then we'll say, hi, everybody.
Oh, Emmett.
And then we'll run it, which 5 seconds before this, my trackpad died. So I have to use this mouse I've never used. Localhost 3000.
In theory. Once we're past
Cool.
this thing. There you go.
There we go. So this is Tailwind. Basically, the cool thing about this is Tailwind has already had a way to remove classes that you don't use, because by default, the Tailwind style sheet is like gigantic. There's like a billion things in there. And I think the end result comes out to be like 230 kilobytes or something like that.
Oh, I'm curious now.
Yeah. So you definitely want your CSS to be under like 30, 20. And we can actually show this off if we do npm run build. Right here. Oops, I'm in the wrong spot. Okay, sorry, I'm bouncing around. This purge property here in Tailwind's config says, okay, I want you to look through all the pages, all the JS files, TS files, all the components. And if you don't see a Tailwind class in that file, remove it. So Tailwind has already had the ability to remove unused classes, which is really nice. Like you can get a site design. This one should come out to be about like 1 kilobyte, which is fun.
That's lovely. Yeah.
That's fast. Yeah.
So the cool thing about Tailwind just in time, and let me show you, basically Tailwind just in time, and I'll show you why it's called just in time, is let's do npm install Tailwind CSS /JIT. So we'll install that. We'll run it again. Actually, hold on. I got to the only step required to install just in time and kind of like upgrade to the new version of Tailwind is going into your post CSS config. And instead of using Tailwind, you change this out to be at Tailwind CSS /JIT. Cool. So basically, now we can run everything again. And then here, we'll have all the same benefits. Basically, everything is kind of tree shaken, tree shooketh. And all of the classes that aren't here are now removed. But the cool thing is now this can happen in local. Used to only happen in production. Since it's so fast with just-in-time, you can do it locally so that your development build and your production build look the exact same.
Yep.
But the cool thing here is you can add. So like, let's say we had BG blue 500. If I don't want that, I can say there's like red 500 and everything goes in like 100 to 900 in shades. You can now do just say, oh, I want this color. So it's not even part of like the framework itself. It's just Tailwind going, oh, you give me a number, you give me a color, and I will generate the CSS class for it on the fly.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So there's a lot of times when you're like positioning things and you're like margin top is 2 or 3 or 4. Maybe that's not like precision accurate that you want. You could be just say like 20 pixels.
That is cool.
I can't decide whether I want to hate this or love this.
I know.
I love it because like, so I love inline CSS. I don't want to write a CSS file. Like I would love inline CSS. I like seeing everything all at once. So I think this is going to be really, I mean, Tailwind itself, I'm excited about Tailwind. One day I'm going to actually learn how to do front end work. And I feel like this might be the one that I choose, but we shall see.
I need to learn Tailwind.
I need to learn front end, but
yeah, that's the thing about Tailwind is you have to know the underlying CSS before you can really use Tailwind. Like, if you don't know CSS, a lot of these words don't really mean too much to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm a big fan. Mason, if you ever need anything built, let me know.
Always do. That's how this partnership has worked since we started working together. You build a front end, I build a back end. Cool. Is that all we have for the demo today, Chris?
Yeah. So I think the ones that are here are, yes, you could do sizing. You could also do sizing on like font size. You can do colors. There's something else I'm missing, but oh, the other one is like you could say on hover, I want you to go text red 50, or like let's go a little bit darker, red 500.
You can do hover styles.
Oh yeah,
Okay, and then so this is where I see the advantage now because you couldn't do that with a style tag.
Oh yes, and then also check this out is you could do responsive right here. So like let's say text 9XL, but if I come over here and oh my gosh, this mouse. Like that is not cool. Oh, there's our hover. You can say on large screens text 9XL, on normal screens text XL, on medium screens text 4XL. So you can do responsive.
That's so cool. I don't know if that's cool or not. It's cool for me.
That's cool.
It's so cool. Yeah. I'm just, beating that Tailwind drum and telling everybody.
No wonder this is the only thing you've been tweeting about for the last like 3 months. Like
yeah, I've just had the headache of CSS and I've done it for years, and here we are with something easier finally.
Yeah, medium series and hover styles in classes. That's cool.
Yeah. And then there's also like focus, there's also all the other ones you'd expect, but now with Tailwind just in time, it used to be, you have to do hover, this on focus, you want like, it wouldn't work here because it's not an input, but all that stuff, you could chain everything together now, hover, focus, and whatever else you need, which is actually a really nice quality of life improvement.
This is amazing.
Yeah, Christian says in chat, you can chain link modifiers. Thanks, Christian. That is, one of the awesome new things.
This is cool. I don't know what else to say. This is really, really cool.
Yeah, we're moved in a good spot. I think Tailwind's really, really cool.
Cool.
And that'll be the end of our demo for today. We're going to learn that. We're going to make cute little outros for that. But here we go. And now it's time for another game of True or False. This is a game where I present my co-host with 10 statements regarding any topic even remotely associated with tech. And I go out of my way to find some abstract things. They have to tell me if the statement is true or false. This game is also audience participatory. So if you go to kahoot.it and type in the game pin 661199, and Kahoot is spelled Kahoot. I kind of feel that's how an owl sneezes, like Kahoot. But I don't know. So, and you go ahead and join us there. You can play along with us, and who knows, maybe you'll win today. So let's go ahead and everyone join in. Chris,
can I put this on screen?
You can
or should I not?
Mason needs to share his screen so we can see the questions.
Yeah, you're right. I need to share the screen. You're right. I forgot I have to do that. Uno momento. Share screen. This screen. Share screen. Got it.
Donald in chat, quick question while you're setting up. Can you use @apply with Tailwind JIT? Yes. Everything that worked in Tailwind before still works now. Dynamically scale size from David to the screen rather than being explicit. I don't think so, but that would be cool.
Chris, join the game.
Oh, yes.
Awesome. Hey, Toon Army Captain. It's a friend of mine from Pi, Texas. Hopefully one day we'll get to see each other again. Would be great. I would love to go back to conferences. Are we ready? Chris is here. I'm going to give it like how much time do I have? You have 15 seconds to join, and then we're going to move on.
All right, Ryan's in, Toon is in, Hef.
5 seconds. Man, we're getting more
Chris
people. Yeah, keep them coming.
Wait, give it more time.
Oh no, I'm going to give you another 10 seconds. Here we go. Another. Oh, we'll give. Okay, you got 10 more seconds starting now. We'll start exactly at 10:33 according to my clock. So, and 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So, I have to remember how Kahoot works. We have some sound effects for this one, but true or false on today's date of 4/1/2021. Here we go. The first cell phone call was made in San Francisco. Is this true or is this false?
And true is blue in this case.
Yes, true is on the left. True is blue. Red is false. It's always like left, right, I think.
I say if you look at the screen Mason's sharing, that has the colors.
It was false. The first cell phone call was made in New York City in 1973 by Martin Cooper, an employee of Motorola. So
he was Motorola.
So you get points in this game by not only getting the question right, but getting the question right quickly. So get those answers in. Yes, fast also. Fast. Yeah, it helps. So here we go with our next question. It's another true or false. Currently, the world's largest hard drive is 100 terabytes solid state drive. Is this true or is this false?
Are we doing like technicalities like it's 102, 1024?
This is what has been reported that I was able to find. Whether or not you want to be technical about it, that is your choice. The answer is true, and it looks like a lot of people got that one incorrect. The largest hard drive is known as Exadrive by Nimbus. It comes in both 50 and 100 terabyte options. The 50 terabyte drive will put you back about $12,500, and the 100 terabyte solid state drive will put you back about $40,000. I did see that. Yeah, company expense. I did see that Seagate is working on 150 terabyte solid state this year.
I mean, just buy a bunch of 1 terabytes at that point.
The Macintosh computer was the first commercial computer with a GUI and a mouse. Yes, speed matters. I'm only giving you 20 seconds. I'm trying to make these hard. Try not to Google. I would appreciate it. Because every time you Google, I have to make the time limit quicker. And okay, 5 or 5, false. It's actually false. The first computer with a GUI and a mouse was actually the Apple Lisa. which was named after Steve Jobs' daughter.
Huh.
Yes, so Apple did have the first GUI, but it was not the Macintosh, it was the Lisa. It was a trick question. Next question, AOL no longer offers dial-up internet service. True or false? Can you still get 56K down?
I read AOL and it didn't even register in my brain what that was.
There are probably people, if there's some younger people on here, they may not know what that is. I actually also never used AOL. We had People PC. And the answer is false?
False.
Oh,
they still offer.
Yes, okay, I right there. Yes, they still offer it. Sorry.
Double negative.
I have to remember how I wrote. Yes, I mess it up. As of 2020, AOL still provides dial-up internet speeds at 56 kilobits per second down at $20 a month. You have to call in
$20 a month
for 56 kilobytes down. You have to call in specifically and request it, and it's kind of like almost like it's like a nostalgia thing. I don't know who's nostalgic about terrible internet speeds, but
there must be some people that still use it that they've got to keep support for.
Probably. You know that. Hooray for legacy code. True or false, more people have cell phones than toilets. This will be a fun one.
I kind of don't want to know the answer to this.
I mean, I know in my house.
You may have more cell phones than toilets, but it's not that. The answer to this is true. Of all 7.7 billion people in the world, over 6 billion have access to a cell phone. Only 4.5 billion have access to working toilets.
Oh my gosh, I was in the lead.
You were for a little bit. Looks like Matt's trying, but Tuna is doing a great job. Next question. Another true. I don't know why I have to make a true or false way. Greater than 50% of internet traffic is non-human.
I've been hit by spam bots pretty hard.
Yeah, but do you think it makes up more than half of the internet's traffic is non-human traffic?
It's not just spam bots, it's all the crawlers as well.
Googlebot, yeah.
Yeah. It is true that 51% of all internet traffic is non-human, with 31% being purely malicious as spam, scrapers, and attacks. That kind of makes me...
Nice.
Oh, Matt, there you go, Matt. You're making it.
Sweet. I've gone from 0 last week to being in the lead this week.
You're doing great. Next question. Google rents 200 goats to mow their lawn at the Mountain View headquarters.
It sounds like something Google would do.
Yeah.
I just want to see a video of this if this is real.
This is true. Google, in an attempt to maintain their landscape in a more carbon neutral way, the Google Mountain View campus in Mountain View, I guess it's California, rents 200 goats to mow their lawn. I don't know what they do about the poo, but I guess they just deal with it.
That just helps the grass grow.
You're right, but then they need more goats. It seems like it's a very cyclical thing.
Correct.
Okay, next question. The first online gaming experience was in the 21st century, meaning that it was January 1, 2000 up. That was the first time there was an online gaming experience. This is actually like one of my favorite questions. This is actually false. Yes, I guess a lot of people here had Sega Dreamcasts. The Sega Dreamcast was a supported internet console that was 128-bit color. It was released in 1999, and you could get online with it. However, due to very poor internet connections in 1999, the experience was less than optimal.
What games were there?
I actually don't know. Yeah, everyone forgets about the Dreamcast. It's actually like a hidden gem that we just don't talk about. Second to last question. Time magazine named the personal computer the Man of the Year in 1982.
That sounds like something Time would do.
And that is true. Okay, obviously I'm not doing tricky enough questions because everyone's getting these.
Well, it's better than last week's. So
what?
Last week, like no one got anything right.
I know, but that's fun. I like that. As the quizmaster, I like seeing that people fail. So, yes, it was the first non-human recipient to ever be awarded the title in 1982. Because basically because of all of the endless opportunities that the personal computer was going to bring to society. I didn't look that far into it. I don't know.
The concept of a personal computer.
I think it would have been like the Macintosh. Right? I don't know. Might have been the Lisa. Obviously, it was something that people had access to because it wouldn't have been that theoretical. Okay, Matt, can you withhold your lead over Chris? Chris, we're going to see.
We'll see.
Well, last question. More than a quarter of all divorces are caused by Facebook.
Oh, this is going to be a really depressing answer.
I feel like it's false because you could easily switch the number. I feel like it's half.
That would be more than a quarter, Chris.
Oh no. How do I redact my answer?
This is actually false. Did I mess this up again? I think I messed this up again. It's actually true. I messed it up. 33% of divorced couples have stated that Facebook was a reason for their breakup.
Oh, it was a reason, not the reason. So.
No, but if it makes it onto that piece of paper.
Well, hold on now. Now I have a question about the results. I think we need to retally.
For this one, we'll just make sure next time this is what happened whenever it's really hard to find true questions, but trying to take them and make them false is tough. And I guess I messed that one up. But either way, we'll still say that Matt was the winner. So congratulations to Matt. Woo! You win. And I can stop sharing my screen now. I hope y'all enjoyed True or False. I think this is a segment that everyone's pretty much enjoying. So as long as it doesn't become more difficult to keep creating the questions, we will have this section next week as well. And now it's time for a segment that's quickly becoming a fan favorite called Back in My Day. It's a segment that looks back at the significant historic events in tech history, and we marvel how far we've come and feel a little bit old.
You've got mail.
So, I love that sound. I'm hoping that people actually like that. Ooh, Dan Bryan says X-Band was before 1994. I'm assuming that means maybe video games. I don't know. We'll see. So, first one that we have is Chris. I'll go ahead and
chronological order.
They are.
Just for reference.
We normally do it by date. Chris, I'll let you share your screen. And are you pulling them up?
They're not in chronological order by date either.
Oh, you want me to move?
Well, I'll just move it, Matt. Like,
just so you don't read them out in the order from the doc.
There we go. They're moved. Okay. Are you okay? So that's not the first one, though.
I'm already on the wrong one. All right. It's this mouse, I tell you.
Okay, Matthew McConaughey. So, March 21st, 2006 was the first little bird, the first tweet by Jack Dorsey.
Which has since been sold as an NFT, I think, as well.
That's right.
I was going to say it's been widely revered as a bad idea and should be rethought, but that's social media in general.
Yeah.
It was inevitable.
Such a long time ago.
What was the first tweet? Does it say on there, Chris, like what the actual first tweet was?
Yeah, he just wrote Jack.
Oh, of course he did.
Oh, wait, no.
No, he did.
Inviting coworkers?
No, I think it's Jack. It's like right next to his picture.
I don't know.
Oh, wait, no, maybe it was inviting. Wow, that's old. No, okay, that's the old UI. I guess it was inviting coworkers.
Terrible UI.
Wow.
You don't got to be great to start.
No, you don't. Oh my goodness.
Is it? So but no.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Donald setting up my Twitter.
Yeah, Donald in chat.
The screenshot here is just wrong.
Yeah, let's go find it.
Everything about this.
Twitter.com/jack/status/20. It's got
such a nice.
I just pulled it up.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, memorized. That shows you how old it is, you know. Its tweet ID is just 20.
And the first 19 were tests, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that has sold for 2.9 mil.
Okay, can we're gonna I'm going to use that. Yeah, there we go. It's not meant for this segment, but actually it's kind of funny because that sound is inspiration for our next one, which is on March 22nd, 1960, laser beams were patented. It even says freaking laser beams. Austin Powers. They're rebooting every single other terrible 90s movie. When are we getting our Austin Powers reboot?
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for it.
But yeah, lasers have been around for a long time.
Bell Telephone Laboratories. What were they trying to do with the lasers?
They're probably just having fun. Accidentally got on it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Was it world domination through lasers and telephones?
I guess that's kind of the precursor to fiber.
Yeah.
I get. Really? We were already thinking about fiber in 1960? I guess.
I doubt it's the same way, but
yeah, it makes sense, but at the same time, it's kind of like, wow, it's hard to believe. Like, we just got the phone working. Like, talk about scope creep. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about scope creep. Like, we just got the phone working, and now you want lasers and fiber optic networking.
Well, it's taken a long time to get it out if that was the case. But
oh, that is pretty fun. Okay, so for our next one, March 23rd, 1928, computer pioneer Jean Semet was born. And I believe she was one of the founders of Formac at IBM. Yes, so she helped develop the Formac language and was like instrumental in like some of the first programming languages. I actually don't even know Formac. Googling it. But she lived quite a long life. She passed away in 2017. So 28 to 2017. That's holding on there.
That's an abbreviation for the Formula Manipulation Compiler.
The language was the first commonly used language for manipulating non-numeric algebraic expressions. She also wrote one of the classic histories of programming languages, a book, Programming Languages, Histories and Fundamental History. I didn't even know that book existed. Now I want to get that book.
See, the language is so old that its Wikipedia page is 3 paragraphs, 4 sentences.
Means it's probably proprietary and that there's not a lot of open information about it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow.
That's interesting. Another one of our founding mothers. There's so many of them. I like to pay homage to them. And then the last one, which was the first one because we pulled it up in the wrong order, was Mac OS X version 10 was born because, of course, we can't start at 1. We have to start at 10.
Right.
Public version of Mac OS X released. It was codenamed Cheetah. This is back when they still named things after cats. Like, what are they on now? Like Big Sur is like the current one, right? Have we gone to like, is that those national monuments?
Like national parks? No.
I think it's like just
mountains.
California locations. I guess they had, because it was Catalina before.
There was lion. There was snow leopard, lion. Was lion the last cat one?
I do miss the cats. I don't remember.
I can't remember when the switch happened. But yeah, it's like places now, basically.
Let me look. So the beta was actually called Kodiak. Then cheetah, puma, jaguar, panther, tiger, leopard, snow leopard, lion, mountain lion, and then we go to Mavericks, which I think was still is that still a cat?
No, it's looking like OS 10 was Sphinx.
What?
Like the code name? That's what I'm reading. I don't know.
Oh, those might be the internal code names because they all have different ones. But
yeah, they should have kept it. That's awesome.
That is. But then we went to Yosemite, El Capitan, which is the geysers, Sierra, High Sierra, Mojave, Catalina, and Big Sur. So yeah, those are some pretty interesting. I wish they would have stuck with the cats, but I guess we ran out of cats.
Yeah, it went from cats to bits of rock.
Well, I guess that's a logical transition.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's all we have today for our Back in My Day section. And now we're going to move on to our final section of the day, which is essentially what's on your mind. It's the section of the day where Chris, Matt, and myself just go around the room and virtual room and talk about things that are currently on our mind. So we'll start off with Matt. What's on your mind?
I don't know what's on my mind really. I don't know. This Dino thing has been playing on my mind for a while now. It's just I've yet to see it used in any production applications that I've come across. I don't know. It seems like they're really pushing forward. Forming a company, doing this deploy product. I don't know. I'm really curious to see it kind of become more mainstream. I'm curious. Like Chris, have you had a play with it?
No, I have not. I don't know. I guess I'm just jaded and like I see new technology. I'm like, it'll be gone in 6 months, and it seems like it's sticking around. So maybe it is time to play with it.
Yeah.
I am interested though in the deployment side of it. Like if you're able to deploy apps at the edge, like quickly, easily, I'm a big fan of having more people in that space.
Yeah. I don't know. Deployment has always been the one bit of like writing any application that scares me. So if it's as simple as just writing some code and running a CLI command and it works, I'm all for it.
We shall see.
I guess the other big thing, it's April 1st today. We should probably talk about that.
Happy April 1st, everybody.
Yeah. Happy Q2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never cared about that until I joined industry. And now I used to be like, oh, it's summertime. Yay. And now I'm like, oh, great. It's Q2.
Well, I don't know. I'm happy.
What April Fool's jokes do we have to talk about? Because I know y'all were definitely chatting about some before the show.
Yeah, I was reading.
Go ahead, Chris.
I was reading one this morning, and I don't know if it's true or not, and I can't even find a link to it anymore. It said that the official chess organization has removed draws from the rule book. Is that an April Fool's?
Must be an April Fool's.
Do we think that people who play chess, do we think that the official chess organization has a sense of humor? Like, and they could make that kind of joke? I feel like
the year for it.
I guess it would be.
I don't know. I'm Googling it, and the first thing that comes up is a Reddit thread from 2018.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Where did I see that article then?
Must have been on Twitter somewhere.
All right, well, I'll keep looking, but
good April Fool's either way.
That one is pretty interesting. I think my favorite. So I used to like whenever Google used to just implement their April Fool's jokes. Like Google Glass was originally an April Fool's joke. And then the last one that I remember was like Google Smell, where they were going to help you smell things through your computer. And I'm glad they haven't implemented that one.
I don't know, that'd be cool tech.
It'd be pretty interesting.
I'm not sure I want it all the time, but it'd be a cool bit of tech to have around.
You could mute tabs from the smell.
Yeah. It's like, I think some companies have tried it before, but no one seems to have made it mainstream yet.
Interesting. I have no idea.
I really want to find this draw chess thing.
So the other one that I think is pretty neat that's shown up is this Stack Overflow keyboard.
Well, there's two parts to that.
There's two parts to that. Okay, well then what are the parts, Matt?
So there's the keyboard itself, right? They've released a 3-key keyboard: the Stack Overflow button, a C button, and a V button. So you can copy paste all day long. It's direct from Stack Overflow, but yeah, the way all developers actually work. It's not joke around here. Yeah, it's how we all do it. And the second bit, they put a restriction on the Stack Overflow website. You get 3 free copies.
3 free copies. Amazing. Before you have to pay for them?
Pay a subscription to be able to copy anymore.
I hope that's actually an April Fool's joke and not like just a feature they're trying to implement.
That is the way to monetize Stack Overflow, though. I'm like, it's kind of like what Medium did, except for Stack Overflow.
Yeah, don't think they would survive that, honestly. I would not be trying to monetize Stack Overflow.
I mean, the bit that really disappointed me, if I'm honest, you can't actually buy one of these keyboards.
Yes.
Which is really disappointing, you know. Like, if you're going to do the April Fool's joke, go full bore and actually let us buy one of these.
Does it actually show it working?
Yeah, Cassidy's video had her pressing the key.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
I don't know if I mean, it could just be video editing to make it look like it works, but
yeah.
It could also just be a 3-key keyboard. But yeah, really cool little April Fools.
And then, so the other one we have is, if you've been following along on all our Strappy.js content, which is a Node framework that helps us build CMSs, APIs, all kinds of stuff. They just announced that they will be switching out Node with PHP for their entire code base and doing a full rewrite. Which, I mean, you could see this April Fool's a mile away, I think.
Here's hoping. I wonder if people ever use April Fools as a way to just bring bad news, and then like April 2nd comes around and like, oh, it was true.
Yeah. It's just like tomorrow, Strappy put a new post out going, no, we're serious about this. There's a new repository on GitHub. We're doing it.
That would be the way to take the joke even farther, is to like start opening issues, like, you know.
Yeah, get the core team involved for a day, just starting committing stuff.
Be a great way to scare a whole bunch of people. Chris, what's on your mind other than April Fool's jokes?
I have to. I'm in the same boat as Matt. I don't know. I'm never prepped for this question. What's on your mind?
The whole point is we're not meant to prep for it, you know. It's meant to be on top of our heads, but
I mean, then the show is on my mind.
What have you been? Okay, well.
No. The chess thing is on my mind.
The chess thing, is that one just stuck in your head for a little bit?
Yeah. I'm wondering if I dreamed it or...
I can't believe you dreamed it.
I don't know. Queen's Gambit came out recently.
That could be part of it. I mean, it's kind of recent, but yeah. I haven't watched that yet. Is it any good?
I enjoyed it.
I have not seen it.
I'll have to give it a watch. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. The thing on my mind is I'm internally been doing a lot of teaching lately. We're teaching the marketing team about all of DigitalOcean's products, which is a lot of fun. And it's great. And like I had marketing people stand up load balancers and load balance traffic across droplets today, which was a lot of fun. And to be able to get non-technical people to that point is amazing, and I love it. Now, the part that's starting to worry me, and I've been worried about this for a while, but it's getting ever closer, is one of our products is Kubernetes. And I have a hard time with Kubernetes sometimes. I don't know it that well. And I'm a little bit worried that I'm about to have to teach a room full of non-technical marketing people how to deploy via Kubernetes. And I'm going to be like, okay, this is YAML. Okay, this is that, like it used to not be that important, but now it holds up 90% of the world's infrastructure. Not that much, but in reality, it's a bit. So I'm trying to figure out, like, do I ask marketing people to deploy Kubernetes clusters? Do I just demo that session and we just talk about it?
I'm going to have to join this session because I've got no clue either.
So that one's, and like I've been writing all of the, like we just finished like week 4, Kubernetes is like week 8. I'm writing the curriculums and I'm one curriculum away from having to write this. And now I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Yep.
So eventually I'm going to have to answer that question. That's been kind of like on my mind for a while. We did get a cool question in the chat from Ricardo asking us, can we talk about Write for Donations? Yes, it is a great program that DigitalOcean has that basically you write tutorials for us. You work with our editorial team. So you would submit an application and a topic about things that you want to talk about, or write about things that you want to write about, and they would allow you to write, and then we pay you. And essentially we'll pay you out, and then the same amount that we pay you, we also make a subscription or a donation to one of the tech, some sort of tech charity of your choice. We have currently modified the right for donations. So you should be open to any topics. Now we have monthly topics that we ask people to write about. Now that I think about it, I haven't seen what April's are. What are the topics right now? Are they live yet? So they want to talk about stuff for app platform and tutorials about Jamstack.
Sweet.
So if you want to write, and every month they change. I don't know if these are actually April's topics or not. I need to ask the person. Actually, they are.
For April.
It says April. Yeah.
Sweet. Sorry, I can't read tiny screens. Great. So yeah, that's the tutorial topics for April. There will be more coming up. So like if these are not things you want to talk about at this point, then wait, and there'll be new topics. But yeah, it's a great program. It pays pretty decently, I would say, for writing a tutorial. You get to work with editors. I think that's the part that scares a lot of people, is that you are going to have a developmental editor who's going to go through your work and help you make it better. You should just think of these people that are paid to make you look really, really smart, because they fix so much. They really are good at what they do. I love working with this team. So definitely check it out.
It's a learning experience as well, right? Having it is, you'll learn things about the best way to write content.
Yeah. Chris, there's a question. Does Next.js count as Jamstack?
Yep. RPan in the chat is correct. Yes, it does. I'm a big fan of Next.js.
Yeah.
Pretty much using it exclusively now for a lot of projects that are Jamstacky. So yeah, we would love content on Next.js. And if we go back up to the topics, Next.js deployed to app platform is also hitting both of those topics at once, which would be a fun article. But yeah, more to what Mason said. It's an amazing thing to have a team of editorial that can help you out and guide you, teach you along the way. Writing tutorials online is a scary thing, no matter what level you're at or where you're at in your writing journey. So really, really good program. And the fact that we do a donation to a charity of your choice is so cool.
Yeah, we do have another great question in the chat. Do the tutorials, are we only accepting tutorials in English? No, we accept tutorials in a lot of different languages. One of the biggest focuses of the past couple of years has been translation of our tutorials. So if you want to write a tutorial and you want to translate it, or maybe, I don't know if they are hiring people to help translate tutorials, but definitely you should consider it, because we do accept tutorials in any language. I'm pretty sure. So it would be great to have some more non-English content on the platform. Great. So I think that's all we have time for today. Next week's events, Tech Talk. Chris is doing his Laravel Jetstream talk. Chris, you want to give us a quick overview of what you're going to cover in that?
Yeah. So Laravel Jetstream, if you are starting a Laravel app, Jetstream is one of the starter kits that comes officially from Laravel. And it's really cool because it gives you not just Laravel, it gives you a full authentication, like login, registration, but it gives you a little bit more password resets, all that good stuff. And it handles all the email verification as well. And it gives you a full dashboard where you can go in, manage your profile, all that stuff. So you don't have to build a UI for your dashboard. It just comes out of the box. You can give it to your users and you can hit the ground running and building an app.
Yeah, that's going to be a really awesome one. I know that we've been, I know that this is one that's been getting rescheduled every now and then, but it's pretty cool. We did have a question in the chat from Clement about some Django stuff. So for anyone who has questions about specific things regarding DigitalOcean stuff, because there's a lot of things here that are coming up that I would love to answer, but we just don't have the time for. DigitalOcean has a community site for questions where you can post your question on the site, and the community, our community members, I think Matt is one of the people here that helps maintain this, correct, Matt?
Yeah, I'm kind of somewhat in charge.
Yeah, so Matt's so if you have questions and stuff, and it doesn't even have to just be about DigitalOcean. So this question about the Django REST framework and CPU utilization and stuff, but post it. You never know who will come in and answer the question. We have a lot of really great answers. So I'd always recommend going to, if you have specific questions that we didn't get to today, post them on our questions page, and we'll try to get to them as soon as we can.
not only is it kind of a community space, so you'll get community members answering questions. We also have a dedicated team of community managers that will respond to questions when we can. And if you ask a really product-specific question, we'll try to pull in product managers from the company, and they will volunteer answers as well. So it's a great place to ask questions.
Definitely is. I even answer some every now and then. Like I might look at that, depending on what you ask about that Django question, I might look into it. But I would say post everything you like, all the data you have about that, because sometimes I definitely try to answer some questions and I just don't have enough data to answer the question. And I'm like, so post everything you can about it. No information is too information. Don't give us your password.
Oh, yeah, don't give passwords. Try not to give IPs.
Yeah, don't do that. But like, if you're seeing some weird things in the logs, post them. We can definitely take a look for it. I think that's the only events we have coming up. Next week's kind of a quiet week, which is exciting.
Well, we should have a Cloud Chats next week.
We do have a Cloud Chats next week. Yes, we have a Cloud Chats next week. We'll be back with more games and discussions and really cool sound effects that I'm still working through, but I think they work pretty well today. So
they're good. I like this. Yeah.
Yeah. So last things last, Mason's joke of the day. Are we ready? It happens every week. And this one's easy, but let's see if you can get it. What is a group of 8 hobbits called?
What is it?
A hobbite.
Ah, okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Clever.
I totally didn't have to look up a joke really quickly because I completely forget about this section every week. That's not what's happening at all. I really need to make a backlog of these. I actually and I want to put it in Jira and explain to my manager why I need to spend an hour or two this sprint writing jokes and putting them in a Google Doc. I really want to have to explain that to him.
I want to see the ticket.
We still have to build out Mason's bad joke API.
Oh, yeah, we do, don't we? We have a lot to do. It's exciting times here. Well, thank you everyone for attending. Hopefully you'll come back next week and at least play another round of True or False with us. I'll try to make the questions a little bit harder next time, but thank you for coming and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Thanks, everybody.